What's up everybody, it's me Thomas PhD and welcome back to another video. So today, we're going to talk about the Dream Team SMP versus L'Manberg War. Now before we get started on the topic this video will talk about, I want to tell some new people that there are already many Dream SMP maps videos on the channel. So go watch those videos after this one in order to understand what topics this series was mostly covering on. Also, in order to talk about this topic efficiently, we're going to start off by talking about the background of what led to the war, the whole war in a highly detailed map, and finally, the conclusion of it all. Oh, and also, there isn't going to be one single map for the whole war, since it would then just look like a pile of spaghetti. So we're going to have the map playing in the background while going through the whole war, and at the end of the video, we will show the whole map again that indicates everything that happens in the war. With all that out of the way, let's get into it. Alright, so today we're going to talk about a war. More specifically, the first Great War on the Dream SMP. And that war is the Dream Team SMP versus L'Manberg War, or as other people calls it, the War for L'Manberg Independence, because it is a war fought between, well, the Dream Team SMP Federation and L'Manberg. And before we get started talking about the whole war, we have to look at how it all started in the first place. So, on the 24th of July last year, Wilbur Soot rejoined the server to create a drug empire across a river and east of Tommy's house with Tommy in it. And a few days later, Wilbur, who got tired of how the Americans keep thwarting his plans, proposes a revolution to Tommy and Tubbo, and the three then conspire to create a not yet recognized independent nation called L'Manberg, as its own server within the Dream Team SMP Federation and the Dream Team SMP server. And immediately after the declaration of independence for the new nation, Dream declares war on Wilbur's young nation, starting the era of the war for L'Manbergian independence and the Dream Team SMP versus L'Manberg War. And both sides began preparing for the big fighting day after the declaration. Okay, so we covered that, but we also need to know who's fighting in order to understand what people are fighting on what side of this war, given the fact that I overly simplified the events leading to the war. So we got to know who's fighting on what side in order to not cause any confusion. So on one side, there is the Dream Team SMP Federation, the only nation that existed non-canonically until the war. And the people that are with and fighting for it are Dream, who is the commander, but also George Found, Sanap, and Punz, who are soldiers and mostly follow Dream's orders in battle as an army of the Dream Team SMP. And on the other side, there is L'Manberg. And the people with and fighting for it are Wilbur, who is leader of the nation but is second in command, Tommy, who is first in command, mostly, Tubbo, who is Tommy's right-hand man, Fundy, who is the first canonically born L'Manberg citizen and son of Wilbur, and finally Eric, who is there because he stood up for L'Manberg and also British, and later in the war became a... Alright, that's that, but there are some stuff going on leading up to the big fighting day, so let's talk about that too. So, from the 29th of July to 1st of August 2020, things start to get unfolded on the server. Eric upgraded the short barriers Wilbur built before independence to the iconic L'Manberg Blackstone walls, marking the borders between L'Manberg and the Dream Team SMP Federation. Both sides continue to arm themselves with potions, weapons, and armor for the war. But speaking of potions, weapons, and armor, let's talk about it. So both sides have effective potions that will come in handy when they are in combat, but both sides also have enchanted netherite armor. However, the Dream Team SMP is more armed with literally everyone in the army having fully geared netherite armor, while on the L'Manberg side, although they do have netherite armor, they are not at their maximum level. Alright, back to the leading events. So Dream, along with most of his army, burned down more of the forest near L'Manberg to make it hard to get in behind the walls and to starve L'Manberg of resources. They then fired TNT over the walls using TNT cannons as warning shots for the L'Manbergians to surrender, and after that, build an effortless cobblestone wall in front of the Blackstone walls so they can look down at all of L'Manberg. And after that, Dream's army began to raid the properties created by the L'Manbergians within their lands before the war. After realizing that the L'Manbergians raided George's underground house, they ended up burning down Tubbo's whole house. And at the end of Dream's stream, he said his iconic message, "We have known today," to L'Manberg.
Tommy and Wilbur and the rest of L'Manchildberg, we are at war. There is no mercy. We have burnt down Tubbo's house. We have planted TNT cannons around your land. We have cobblestone walled the outside, and we have shot one warning shot inside your walls as an explosion. And we have no mercy! No mercy for you! Do you understand? We will come, we will burn down your houses, we will kill everything inside your walls, and we will take back the land that is rightfully ours. If you do not surrender, I want to see white flags outside your base by tomorrow at dawn, or you are dead!
Okay, so that's the things leading to the war. Let's get started. At the dawn of the war, minor skirmishes happened on the server between the Dream Team and the L'Manbergians, and with their plans finalized, in 30 minutes before the war was supposed to start, the Dream Team SMP attacked. The Dream Team knew the whole time that Tubbo has been grinding away the items and weapons of war for L'Manberg in his jungle base, which is very, very far away. So they nether traveled, which is faster than traveling in the overworld, to Tubbo's jungle base, which is how Tubbo founded his jungle base in the first place. Tubbo, who has been grinding away along with Eric for the whole morning due to some raids to his base, before the big day, was still grinding when the Dream Team stormed his base. But Tubbo managed to bank most of the important items in his ender chest before getting killed multiple times by the Dream Team, before then breaking his own bed, killing himself, and later spawning back at the server's spawn point. And soon after that, everyone headed back to the Dream Team SMP, and later the first official battle of the war is soon to come. The Battle of the Power Tower. As soon as Tubbo spawned back in the Dream Team SMP, Tommy contacted him. Tubbo then alerted Tommy about the situation and stated that the Dream Team is coming back after the raid at his base, and the only way for them to come back to the Dream Team SMP is through a portal on top of Tommy's power tower, and they're going to blow up an end crystal to kill every Dream Team member in one fell swoop. But that didn't work because the Dream Team, after they raided Tubbo's jungle base, ended up taking the same route and portal they used to get to Tubbo's jungle base, over the nether roof, a gap created before in the bedrock, and through the community portal. And soon, the Dream Team then started heading towards the power tower to kill the L'Manbergians for their items. Dream George took a shorter western route and surprise attacked the L'Manbergians under the power tower, while Punz and Sapnap took a longer eastern route, and later hid in some trees between the L'Manberg embassy and L'Manberg itself in case of any attempts by the L'Manbergians to get back to L'Manberg, while the other L'Manbergians are sieged on top of the power tower. The Dream Team ended up storming the tower, killed the L'Manbergians, and soon the L'Manbergians retreated and regrouped it inside the walls of L'Manberg, handing the first victory of the war to the Dream Team SMP. As the L'Manbergians retreated back into L'Manberg, the Dream Team pursued them, and then got on top of the cobblestone walls and stared down into L'Manberg menacingly. Then Wilbur finally joined the server, and he was awoken by his comrades in a state of panic while the Dream Team looked upon him. As the L'Manbergians prepared themselves inside the camera van and walked out, the Dream Team, after surrounding the camera van on top of the L'Manberg blackstone walls, decided to fall back to the power tower, and the L'Manbergians advanced. Whilst doing so, formed the L'Manberg 5th Revolutionary Battalion. As the L'Manbergians advanced up to the embassy, the Dream Team stand tall on top of the power tower, and soon, after the whole L'Manberg army is up, the second battle of the war began. The Battle of the Embassy. The L'Manberg armies stopped at the bottom of the tower, planning on how to storm it. But then, out of nowhere, the Dream Team set their trap with shots of flaming arrows. At first, it seemed like a minor thing, but then the TNT blew up, sending the L'Manberg army back into the embassy, and for the next few minutes, both sides exchanged shots, with the L'Manbergians sieged inside the embassy, while the Dream Team rained hell on them. As the L'Manbergians planned their next moves, Dream, who is the commander of the Dream Team, all of a sudden ordered his army to start retreating. The L'Manbergians, seeing they are winning, throw back the Dream Team as they retreated, handing the victory of the second battle of the war for L'Manberg. But then, the Lambergians saw that the Dream Team seemed to be climbing Punk's tower to shoot on them, and decided to climb Punz's tower to fire on the Dream Team, and soon the third battle of the war began. The Battle of the Two Towers. At the time, Punz's tower is not finished, and it doesn't even have any way up, but Tommy crafted some ladders and took some of the L'Manberg army up the tower, while the rest kept an eye on the Dream Team and causing a distraction. But the Dream Team did not climb up Punk's tower as the Lambergians had expected. As a result, the Lambergians had the high ground and started raining hell at the Dream Team below, who are unable to return fire due to the height of their opponents, forcing the Dream Team to retreat far away out of range and from view, handing L'Manberg a second victory of the war. During the battle, Eric, seeing the opportunity, insisted that the L'Manberg army fall back to L'Manberg because he forgot to mention that he also prepared some gear to fight the Dream Team for one last battle. And after the battle, the High Command agreed, and the L'Manberg army head back to L'Manberg. Meanwhile, the Dream Team, after escaping the raining hell of arrows from the L'Manberg army, initiated their plan. They then gone down a secret tunnel somewhere near Punk's tower in the bamboo forest and start going through it, which actually leads all the way to L'Manberg. Back with the L'Manberg army, Eric led the army down a secret basement to a room with black stone walls along the walls, chests for everyone, and an enormous button on the floor. Meanwhile, the Dream Team are setting up their second trap, with Dream and Satnam on two sides of the wall, while George and Punz on the other, with potions armed and weapons on hand. All they need to do now is wait for the doors to open. And as the door opens, Eric did his iconic character quote.
Eric. What?
A traitor! Get out! Get out! Get out!
What? No!
Down with the revolution, boys.
What?
It was never meant to be.
The Dream Team massacred and obliterated the 5th Battalion and celebrated their decisive victory of the war against L'Manberg. And later, Eric, as we all know, betrayed L'Manberg and rejoined the Dream Team SMP. After looting for a while, the Dream Team and Eric escaped through the tunnel, resurfaced and head for L'Manberg. Back in L'Manberg and the Camarvad, everyone that remained were stunned and had lost a cannon life. And soon, Wilbur invited Dream to a meeting outside the L'Manberg embassy and start negotiating. Wilbur congratulates Dream and his army for being worthy fighters. He then claims that both sides lost a lot, but he's just not accepting how it actually is, before Tommy came in interrupting because he's an angry child.
Suffered. Great
Gentlemen.
losses on both sides. Tommy, leave.
I'm
Tommy, you were dismissed.
And soon was kicked out, and the talk continues. Wilbur said that his nation and people don't wish for blood to be shed, to be dragged into a war, flex the power they have, but they just want freedom. However, Dream has mostly opposite ideals. He wants white flags inside L'Manberg as a sign of surrendering, to say that L'Manberg's land is not independent and is part of the Dream Team SMP. And soon, Dream stated that if that doesn't happen in the next 30 minutes, he will blow up L'Manberg. Wilbur refused to surrender his nation, and so negotiations are down for now, and they both headed for L'Manberg. Wilbur returned to L'Manberg and informed the others that if they don't surrender, Dream would like a piece of TNT inside the land. And Wilbur, along with the other L'Manbergians standing beside him, said one of his iconic quotes of the war.
Independence or death. If we get no revolution, then we want nothing. We would rather die than give in to you and join your SMP.
As that happens, the Dream Team liked the TNT. As they look upon the TNT, it seemed like another minor thing. But what they didn't know is that while the Dream Team and Eric is escaping through the tunnels, they filled it with TNT. And the one piece of TNT on the surface lighted up all the TNT underground and exploded. L'Manberg is blown up. and the Lambergians looked upon the lad in shock.
Wait! What? No!
What? Okay.
No!
In the water. Oh my god. Gentlemen.
After the explosion, they searched for the book that they signed for Lamberg's independence and followed Tommy and Tubbo down to a secret tunnel they built to escape the Dream Team.
When did you make this?
They then locked themselves inside a bunker and talked over the options they got left. After some discussion, Wilbur ordered Tommy to come with him to negotiate with Dream again. At first, it seemed all calm and collected,
Hey, Dream.
Hello.
but when Dream insulted them,
We fought incredibly well. We just fought a little bit better.
Tommy blew up in a rage.
Dream, you know, oh yeah, you know what? Why don't we fight
Tommy,
right now, Dream? Why don't we
Tommy,
fight right now? Why don't we one
Tommy,
versus
calm.
one?
Wilbur tried to stop him, but Tommy, in rage, offers Dream a 1v1 duel between them. Wilbur said that it's not worth it, but allows it if Dream accepts the duel. Soon enough, Dream accepts it and offers a deal. If Tommy wins, Lamberg gains independence, but if Dream wins, they don't get independence and Dream gets Melanheim, Tommy's disc. This is a big deal. Even after all the battles, if Tommy wins, Lamberg would still get independence. However, it is a big risk, as if Dream wins, Lamberg would not get independence, and Tommy would lose his disc. Dream asks if Tommy accepts the deal between them, and Tommy accepts. And then, they lay out the rules of the duel. Tommy and Dream will have a bow and arrows in hand. Both duelists will be on half a hut and will do 10 paces, turn around, and fire at each other. This duel has 2 people that will be taking part of it, but only one will be coming out alive. And soon, as the 2 are lined up to one another and starts to march, history marches with them, as this will change everything on the Dream Team SMP server forever. And soon, as the arrows fly along the prime path, one finds its mark, and Dream won. Tommy lost his second cannon life to Dream, and the duel is over. As the Dream Team celebrated another decisive victory against Lamberg, Tommy, still determined to get Lamberg independence, calls Dream into a meeting between them. Tommy decided to make a decision that he cannot change afterwards, and decided to give Dream not 1, but 2 of his discs to Dream, not only for the original deal, but also for Lamberg's independence. This is a very good and also risky second deal. If Dream accepts the deal, Tommy will turn back the clock again, because he just got those discs back from Dream after he stole them that he and Tubbo had to fight for to get back. But Tommy stated that, after all, it is for Lamberg, a separation, emancipation, and independence for Lamberg. And Dream accepts. But he still claims that Lamberg is still part of the Dream Team SMP,
I'll grant you technical independence.
which Tommy claimed that he is being delusional. After the meeting, Wilbur asked Tommy what happened, and Tommy said,
Wilbur, I've secured our independence.
You what?
What?
I gave him the discs, Will. I gave him the discs. My 2
You
discs.
gave up your disc.
the Lambergians celebrated their independence, and Wilbur wrote the second Declaration of Independence for Lamberg.
The
What, are you gonna
decree
shoot me? Yeah.
of independence. Signed. As we gaze upon the swaths of redwood trees, the great hills to our south, and the walls that have protected us for years, I, as the now president of Lamberg, we're not democratic, I've elected myself,
And soon said one of his most iconic quotes of the whole war.
hereby state
yes, good.
Yo! Suck it, green boy!
think
life,
we won. We have independence.
liberty.
I think we won.
and the pursuit of freedom.
And as the book is signed, and the Dream Team is there to witness it, L'Manberg gains independence, and the war is over. And also with both sides claiming victory, with the Dream Team SMP, which is now the Greater Dream Team SMP, claims a military victory as L'Manberg is left pillaged, betrayed, and the supplies were left sparse, and all the L'Manbergers had lost at least one cannon life. But L'Manberg, which claims a diplomatic victory, as although Tommy lost 2 of his discs, they still got their independence. And after the war, Jack Manifold, who was funded 1408 before changing his username, joined the server. Tommy and Tubbo welcomed him and attempted to recruit him to join L'Manberg, but Dream tried to bribe Jack with a large sums of diamonds in an attempt to get him to join the Greater Dream SMP. But ultimately, Jack stuck with Tommy and Tubbo and joined L'Manberg. However, he brings up the possibility of being a spy for the Greater Dream SMP. And after that, Nikki Niichu also joined the server and was welcomed by Wilbur and Tommy. She also joined L'Manberg and started a bakery near the coast. However, Wilbur then tried to paint Eric as a murderous traitor to her, but instead, she became close friends with Eric and doesn't care that he betrayed their country since it didn't happen to her. Yet, back in the Greater Dream SMP, to celebrate his promotion as king of the Dream Team SMP server, Eric then built not 3, not 1, but 2 large towers, the tallest towers in the entire server, around L'Manberg, which Tommy, Jack, and Fundy all expressed their annoyance with the towers as it blocks the view of the sunset from within the walls and borders of L'Manberg. But months later, and at the end of the road for L'Manberg, they will become the last remaining things that reminded the server that L'Manberg has once existed. Okay, so that's the whole background, the entire war, and the aftermath explained. Now let's move on and talk about who has won or lost most out of the war. And to answer that question, we have to look into what the goals for each nation was during the entire war. In the Dream Team SMP vs L'Manberg war, L'Manberg's mostly main goals were to fight with words, and if necessary, fight back the Americans, secure their independence, and seek some gains from the Dream Team SMP if they could. The Dream Team SMP, though, has mostly opposite goals compared to L'Manberg. They are to take back the lands L'Manberg claims to be part of them, kill the inhabitants if needed, and make sure L'Manberg doesn't become independent. And although the Dream Team SMP did do 2 decisive victories against L'Manberg, it's still not enough for us to build a clear answer of who has won or lost the most, because it could still go either way. To add more to it, we got to also talk about who has won or lost the most out of the war for each SMP member. So the biggest loser in this is Tommy. This man put all of his eggs into one basket and lost the most. Not only he is the only person in the entire war that lost 2 cannon lives, but he also gave up the 2 discs that he fought for with Tubbo against Dream, and now he's dragging a conflict that he fought a while ago to become the longest lasting saga in the server's entire history. And by far the biggest winner in the entire war is Dream. Not only he has now control over Tommy with 2 of his most prized possessions, he also took at least a cannon life off of each enemy he fought against in the war, and he did all of that at the same time without losing a single cannon life himself. And the second biggest loser out of the war is Tubbo. He not only lost a lot of islands that he grinded for hours and had most of his properties damaged or destroyed, he also has lost a cannon life and need to help Tommy in reclaiming the disc from Dream in a lot more battles to come. The rest of the L'Manbergians are mostly in the loser area, while most of the Dream Team is in the winning area. But the second biggest winner of the war is Eren. Not only he was able to avoid losing a cannon life and his items, unlike the other L'Manbergians, he also secured himself in the position as king of the Greater Dream SMP and the Server Dream Team SMP itself. And to put more salt on L'Manberg, he is also British, which makes great propaganda about Brit betrayed his fellow revolutionaries to be on the winning side, but destroyed his reputation in order to gain power for his own benefit. And so, with all that information, it's time to answer, again, the question: who won or lost the most out of the Dream Team SMP vs L'Manberg war? So, the winner of this war is the Greater Dream SMP, and especially Dream, who won and gained the most out of it. And the loser of this war is L'Manberg, and especially Tommy, who lost the most out of it. And although L'Manberg does claim victory, it just only prolonged the last biggest war it will be fighting in for months to come. And that last war will show that if control is the only thing that keeps the storm of war under control, once lost control, then the outcome will always be the same. Chaos always wins. And that is another Dream SMP maps video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to click on the like button on the video and subscribe to the channel if you like my videos. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.